everybody was looking for Elijah. Until Elijah said, what power? When Elijah was satisfied, he now told the king, hurry home. He didn't say go home. He said, hurry home. There will be an abundance of rain. Hurry home. Because this man knew that the earth is controlled by the heavens. So they don't lobby on earth for power. They lobby in the heavens. The man who has power in the spirit will control everybody that is of earth. So they knew the way of ascension. Adam had no life of God, but Adam determined seasons in Eden. Adam was so much in God's presence that Adam was not surviving by oxygen. If you don't breathe for 5 minutes, you will be shocked that you will die. Adam was not living on oxygen. Adam was breathing the presence of God. And you think it's a lie. Jeremiah understood the technology, that it was in the spirit. So they threw Jeremiah into a sockaway. And Jeremiah was under a pit in a sockaway, and he was prophesying from there. He was prophesying. Paul, the apostle, said, a day and a half I was in the deep. So Paul was under the ocean for 1.5 days. How was he surviving? Not everybody live by oxygen. There are men that have breathed the oxygen of heaven so much that even if you take them into a pit, they will live. Because man shall not live by bread alone. There are other technology. I know a man many years ago, whether he was in the flesh or out of the flesh, I can't tell. That means when you take Paul from his body, he's still alive. Because Paul won't die before he leaves his body. By reason of intercourse in the spirit, Paul could live both within and without his body. He said that man was carried to the third heavens. Such were the powers that this man carried. This is what we call heavenly blessings. That's why Paul said he has power to abound and to abase. So Paul is not manipulated by his circumstances. He can change it. A day came, Paul went to preach. They stoned him to death. And when they checked and confirmed that Paul had died, they left. The church came, stood around him, and Paul stood up and said, let's go to the next city. Do you know what it means to be stoned to death? Do you know the injury that you will incur? The guy stood up. He didn't say, is there a doctor here? I need medication. He said, let's go to the next city. A man who was stoned to death stands up and says he wants to go to the next city. How? He doesn't survive by blood. There is something in him. That's why Paul said, for me to live is Christ. For me to die is gain. He said, but I have chosen to be with you. That means you can't keep Paul. These men don't die. They lay down their lives. That's heavenly blessings. It doesn't matter if there is tuberculosis, malaria, or COVID. They will go there and they will say, wear mask. Which mask? But our churches today, it is doctors that tell us how to live. And I'm not against medicine, but I'm telling you, there is a place called the place of the heavenly blessings, when you will defy medical science and you will become a wonder to your generation. We heard stories of John G. Lake in South Africa, a plague killing people, and the guy showed up. He was helping people and he was not contacted. And they say, why? He said, I have eternal life. I have exercised my soul in eternal life. And they would put the virus in his hands and the virus will die. Why? Because they carry heaven everywhere they go to. And viruses don't survive in heaven. When Christians are running helter-skelter, it's because they've not ascended in the spirit. That's why I told you, prayer is not about time. Prayer is ascension to the mountain of God. Prayer is translation. Prayer is transfiguration. He said, as he prayed, the fashion of his countenance was altered. His raiment glistered. When Jesus told us, lay hands on the sick, did Jesus not know that there are certain sicknesses that if you touch, you will contact it? Why did he say to lay hand? The reason is because it is not you that we contact. It is the sick person that we contact. Because something is not supposed to transfer to you. Things should transfer from you to things. And it's not just limited to sickness. You can come to your business when you begin to live the ascended life, and you will tell your business, begin to prosper. Begin to prosper. You will be shocked. When they needed food, they said they have 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And Jesus said, bring it here. How do you say bring it here when there are 5,000 men? By what technology? And he lifted it up and said, I thank thee, oh Father. He said, take, share it. How do you share 5 loaves and 2 fishes to 5,000 people? Who do you start with? But as they shared, it began to multiply. It began to multiply. These are technologies in God. It began to multiply. So a point will come when you are doing business, it looks as if things are not working. What you need to do is not to start running around. It's to turn to the business and begin to prophesy. When you are done praying, you command the business to begin to multiply. You will be shocked. After your degree, somebody will call you from Germany and say, I heard that you deal with spare parts. I want to start importing spare parts to Nigeria. How did it happen? You manipulated him by prayer. This is what the blessing is. The blessing is not